Okay, waiting
that
for
work,
this thing
Sin?
to sync.
This dude.
Thankfully, it doesn't
Now
actually sync for a while, so.
I was looking at the Twitch stream, the
Hello.
Twitch last time, and apparently it
There's
stopped.
Kane.
Wait, what? Oh, there it is. Okay. What happened?
You know how we were streaming Titans last time?
Yeah.
So I had a look of it after I came back home,
Uh-huh.
and not the YouTube one, but the Twitch one kind of like stopped about 30 minutes before the YouTube one stopped.
Seriously?
Yeah, no joke. I looked at it. There was like 14 minutes left, and compared to the YouTube one, which had like half an hour left.
That's super annoying. They go on the same function. They should be identical.
It was that night though, so I'll probably
Yeah.
double check it again, but
Yeah.
that fair warning.
Yeah. Episode 20.
I'll keep an eye on the Twitch.
Oh,
stream.
that's why. It's because it's separated into two videos for some reason.
Okay.
Yeah, hour 20 and 44, and the YouTube was 2 hours 5 minutes. So yeah, it's separated into two for some reason. I don't understand why, but that's okay. We are now streaming on Twitch. Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry for being slightly late, but that's okay. Oh wow, we have 4 viewers on here. Welcome, everybody. Glad you guys are all here.
Oh my god, Sin, we're getting noticed. Ugh, I feel scared.
I hope. But welcome everybody to another episode of Jumpchain. Technically, this is Syndicate, but we are working with both teams at the moment inside this tournament arc. Currently is Sophia and oh, did I say Akia? Whoops, I meant to say Mr. Torque. Oh, I meant to say Sophia, not Miss Akia. Anyways,
Sin, you're confusing yourself.
yeah, well, you know, just. Anyways, yeah, so we are watching these two. If you guys are new to this channel, feel free to hit that follow button, so we're able to kind of keep producing this content for you folks. Anyway, so last episode we watched Akia beat the ever-living tar out of Monkey Boy with great difficulty, but
Because
it
she
did.
could.
Yeah. They pretty much just beat the living tar out of each other until one of them turned into an elephant and started to absolutely violently massacre the other one. So, no one has died so far, but who knows whether or not that will stay as is currently. So, Mr. Rogue also beat the ever-living tar out of Gas Boy there. I don't quite remember his name. I don't think I ever will.
Taki.
But, Taki? Taki. Yeah, Taki. Taki. That
The
makes
chip.
me think of Mark.
The chip.
Yeah,
The
the
hot
chip.
Cheetos.
Yeah, it makes me
Takios.
think of Mark, and it makes me very concerned, but that's okay.
Yeah.
We also watched, if I move up here, Endeavor versus Tanya. And Tanya wiped the floor with Endeavor to such an obscene degree. I think all 3 of these groups got at least one natural 20 for their entire battle. At least one natural 20. And I think only one natural 1 has come about so far. So hopefully we'll be either seeing it continue in that pattern or we'll be seeing something else. So currently we, as you guys can see in the MHA crossover section side of our Discord, we are going to be talking a little bit about Sophia versus Mr. Torque right now, and then probably following that up a little bit of Diana versus Dollhouse, followed up by Risa and Lion Boy, alongside Spire Girl and Midoriya. Then following finally with Roasted versus his enemy, which is Boy, and possibly doing Todoroki versus Zen as well, but we shall see how that works, depending on a few factors. And next week, on Tuesday at 8 p.m. PST, I apologize, we're going to be kind of going into the semifinals / the finals, depending on how fast you guys do it. And then we're going to be following that up with the next day of the 14th, where we're going to be finishing up MHA and doing all the finals and all the epilogue and everything else that we need to wrap up for this thing. And there's going to be a special episode for the heroes on the 20th. So feel free to pop over for that as well. And you guys want to see most of our other content that we do randomly, again, hit that follow button or go over to our YouTube Tables of Tartarus, and you'll be able to see most of the stuff that we do constantly. So hopefully you guys will enjoy it. Now, Mr. Torque and Sophia, while everyone else around you just left, oh, that was groovy. Okay, my last like what? Yeah. So while everybody else around you has kind of started fighting, Akia has been getting the living tar beaten into her by Monkey Boy, who's just kind of insulting her. You can vaguely hear the conversation between them, and you can also see Akia just getting more and more riled up. Yeah, Taki and Rogue are kind of doing their things. Everybody else is doing their stuff as well. Endeavor and Tanya, the force of Endeavor's blows are starting to blow you back slightly as he, starts his onslaught. And you two are kind of in a barrier of slightly opaque orange. You vaguely remember this from a hero that Akia ranted about, Sophia, the barrier hero Ignis.
Okay.
But, yeah, so you two are kind of in here. You've pledged to actually fight each other, preferably without killing each other, but that's up to y'all, basically. So,
Got it.
yeah.
I'll say before the fight starts,
Mm-hmm.
you see her putting on this suit, and if you have a 4 in senses, then you'd be able to tell that your hate signature vision does not work on her anymore.
Yeah. He has a 5 in sense. So, yeah, as you're looking at her, her body temperature kind of disappears, as weird as that sounds.
Damn, you got the hots for me already?
Boom, headshot.
Enough to hide it, I guess.
Alright.
Roll to see who goes first.
Yeah. Well, this is mostly just verbal RP, basically. So you guys are welcome to pretty much attack each other at the same time, more or less. Why is my thing different on both ends here? Okay, that was just not updating properly. Weird. Okay. So yeah, you two are welcome to kind of just discuss how you two are fighting, and then depending on the actions that you guys take, I will tell you guys to... Hello? Okay. I'll tell you guys to roll a specific stat, essentially. Usually for staying conscious, you'll roll your endurance just to see how well you're able to stay conscious, like Akia did with Monkey Boy. So, So you are welcome to try to talk with each other, or you're welcome to just start beating the living tar out of each other. Depends on you guys.
So, what do we do? Do you want to just chat, or do you want to actually fight?
Let's fight. And I pop a vanish, even though I don't know if I'll need it real fast. But I do anyway. Pop a vanish seed, and I portal.
Oh, nice. By the way, your portals do not extend out of the arena, or while technically, if you do pour out the arena, effectively what will happen is you'll just be kind of moved back into there effectively. You can see all from one kind of standing at the top there, looking at the entire arena. So your portals probably won't work out outside. I'm assuming you're portaling inside of the arena? Or inside the battle section? Okay, cool. So she just kind of vanishes from your sight, Mr. Torque, as you're looking around. She seems to just kind of disappear. What are you gonna do?
The old portal out of here trick.
Let's fight disappears from sight.
Man, I'm gonna keep my senses up to kind of like pinpoint where she may pop up.
Okay, okay. Roll me a
Portal next.
sense real quick. See if you can possibly hear her footsteps if she gets close to you or such like that.
Oof.
It's not gonna be very. That's gonna be very difficult. So what are you planning on doing, Sophia?
He's facing diagonally, right?
Yeah,
Or
he's
looking
facing
around.
where you were essentially, kind of keeping his arms a little bit out, trying to listen for you essentially at the moment. He seems to be getting kind of distracted from the massive wind gusts from these guys, and Akia turning into an elephant, and a massive bolt of electricity on the other end of the arena as well. Not to mention whatever Deku's doing, or whatever she's doing with Todoroki.
I hate this little barrier. I'm not gonna say that though.
That's why it's
But,
there.
But I am going. I feel so caged. How dare you? But, I portal. Behind my back, I will make a portal, and I'm guessing he's pretty fucking durable since he's a jumper.
You
and I'm
have
just gonna
watched
drop...
him be beaten by an octopus lady for hours on end.
Yeah, so I'm gonna make a portal behind my back because it seems that he's not looking in my direction anyway. And I'm going to pop a portal right behind him inside of the barrier and drop a frag grenade.
Jesus Christ. Okay. Fucking hell. Okay. Mr. Torque, since you are actively looking out at the moment, roll me a dexterity for when the grenade pops up directly behind your head.
Oh.
You're very used to grenades. You very much so love grenades. I don't think you've ever taken one. Oh. You love grenades.
Pops up. Ooh, Mr. Offensive.
you like turn around, you like look at you, just like, ah, you're beautiful. Oh yeah. Roll me endurance. Why do you do this to me? You're my grenade, baby. Yeah, roll me endurance real quick.
Torque.
Yeah, Mr. Torque.
Torque.
Hello.
0, did you die?
God, everyone's having connections issues today.
I
Mr.
just crashed.
Mr. Torque.
Am I gonna have to use your grenades? Am I gonna have to set up a giant firework festival cake with those grenades?
Mr. Talk, I'm gonna roll his endurance for him while he continues to die real quick. Wow, he is extremely terrible. The grenade does hurt quite a bit, blasting him back about a couple feet or so. But he looks not much worse for wear. Oh, is that Mr. Torque? Torque.
I
Hey,
was
there
just
you
called
go.
down for.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we thought you like your like internet died or something. But yeah, you took a grenade to the chest frame and you were just like, reminds me of the old days.
So now
Man.
he's looking. So now he's looking this way.
He's looking down at you. Would you like to attempt to do some kind of action, Mr. Torque? As you're fighting an invisible foe at the
Do I
moment.
see her?
No, she took a Vanish Seed from Pokemon Mystery Dungeon, so effectively she's invisible at the moment. Potentially, if you rolled high enough sense while trying to look over stuff, you would be able to see her footsteps, but that's if she's moving at that exact point in time.
Yeah.
So
Well,
at
I
the
mean,
moment,
she
you're
did move,
basically
though.
just seeing an empty area, which is slightly concerning.
All right. I'm gonna just keep my senses up again. Not much I can do then.
Roll your sense, and you also have. Where is it? Oh yeah, you can use defensive stance as well, which is one of your spells, and you're able to add a +1 to your defense, but -1 to your strength, if you wish to do that. Mr. Torque?
Okay. All right. Well, I got my senses up. I'm gonna keep that on standby.
Okay. So you start doing the senses. Zephania, since he is now looking your actual direction, what would you like to do?
I'm sending out my Pokemon so he can fight on 2 battles.
You're fighting a Totodile?
Yeah. Well, remember, it mutated, so it grew to the final.
Oh, yeah, it did. It did mutate in JoJo, yeah.
I don't know if it grew to the final form, but it mutated, so...
Corin, if you're still in the call, do you remember if it was the full form or if it was the secondary form?
I do not recall.
Okie dokie. In that case, we're going to say the final form, which is for alligator?
Yeah.
I
did have the move set up that it learned.
Tor. God, that is such a weird name. Alright,
For alligator.
So, as you throw the Pokeball, he can see exactly where you are, simply because the Pokeball comes out of your hand, and then...
Can I have for alligator immediately attack?
You can, yes. It will take just a few seconds for the Pokeball to kind of pop out, essentially. So if Mr. Torque would like to do something,
tranquilizer her.
Okay.
No, portal away, because it's just a free action move to throw the Pokeball, right?
Yeah, so you threw your Pokeball, and the moment that he saw the Pokeball, since his sense is so high, he would be reaching for his gun. So both of you roll dexterity to see which one of you is faster.
Oh,
jeez.
Rolled for faster.
Huh?
Oh.
Oh yeah, that would actually be dexterity versus speed, because you're trying to disappear, he's trying to shoot.
No, even worse.
Yeah, so you attempt to, you threw the Pokeball, he immediately reached for his tranquilizer gun, started to pull it out. Your immediate reply was try to portal, but as you were going down through your portal, he manages to shoot you in the arm with one of his tranquilizer darts. They're not super, intense. It does take a bit for tranquilizers to kind of go through, but you're welcome to roll endurance to see how your body takes the tranquilizer.
Oh, that's a critical failure.
You're starting to get wobbly. You're starting to get woozy. Thankfully, you haven't been punched yet, so your jumper endurance is really kicking in strong here. Did not realize you have 7 endurance. Jesus Christ. Your jump endurance is kicking in here. You're not quite down, but as you pop up, where would you pop up? Like right here-ish, maybe?
Sure, because Totodile's gonna be right here on this tile.
Okay, let me...
And, well, fuck.
Yeah.
I don't want to go down.
You're now super woozy.
I'm going fucking beast mode.
Yeah, you're super woozy. Your head is kind of hurting. Your vision is kind of blurry, and you're wavering slightly.
No, I'm gonna grow to full size so that I can try to fight off that wooziness by growing.
Okay. Let me pull up for alligator real quick. As you do grow to full size, let's see, at this, yeah, let me put them right there.
Oh, true. I fill in all of these tiles.
Oh yeah, even though you are technically invisible for just a little bit now, and for some reason you're not popping up on my other screen. Ah, there we go. Sorry, my connection is being funky. You start growing up to your full size, which starts compressing him against the wall. He can't see you, but your
is growing an action or a move action?
You're switching, so it would be a minor action. Yeah, it takes a little bit of time for your body to start adjusting, to start increasing. I'm
squashed against her, right?
Yeah, the Vanish Seed's starting to wear off slightly, as it has been a little bit since you took it. You're now pressing him against the wall. He can see kind of a vague outline of you at this point. Your Feraligatr is just outside of your body. You are pressing him. It's very cramped inside that space.
Nice. Feraligator's gonna fucking attack. Let me find out where his fucking attack is.
Yeah.
Because I used it in JoJo.
He is very... Yeah, you are being compressed. The Feraligatr will do whatever its attack is. Let's see.
I made a list. It should be somewhere. I already picked out the 4 moves.
Let's see. I think it would be on your.
Is
No.
it
I'm loving
rock?
how nervous Megan is right now.
I really am very nervous right now.
It should be on the drive for your character. Let me see if I can pull it up.
I remember there was like an ice move, Ice Fang, or was it something else?
Is that Ice Fang or Ice
Blast?
Beam?
Ice Beam?
Let's see.
Because there's a water one and there was an ice one, because it slowed down the giant
Mhm.
from the other time.
Let's see. Totodile's
I don't remember
moves
what the other
are
ones are.
technically for you. It's Ice Beam. Yep.
Oh, Ice Beam?
Yep.
Sure. They'll Ice Beam him.
Okie dokie. Roll me your dexterity versus Mr. Torque's speed as he is trying to wiggle out of your squishiness.
Oh my god.
Wow.
Oh,
that's a
oh shit.
Huh.
reroll.
Corn, I don't know what to do there.
Reroll.
Let's see. So it's a match. You're trying to wiggle out.
Yeah, he's trying to wiggle out, and
I'm not
Feraligatr is trying to
wiggle
ice
out,
beam him.
actually.
Oh, you're not trying to wiggle out? What are you trying to do? You can kind of see the Feraligatr starting to pump up ice beam at you.
I got something planned.
Oh, okay.
So what are you doing specifically?
So, if before the ice beam starts, I'm gonna throw a bomb.
Ooh, okay. That will actually work very well. Roll me your bombs. You're fast enough to be able to pull out the bomb and activate it before the Feraligatr is able to hit you. With the
Now, I'm
Feraligatr's
gonna-
dexterity, it would hit you,
I'm
though,
picking
depending
a
on the bomb.
I'm picking a specific one.
Oh, okay. Which one? Which one?
Mr. Sparky.
Ooh, okay, okay. Yeah, I'm assuming you're trying to use on yourself, or you're trying to use on both?
I'm holding it out in my hand
Alright, cool.
while I unpin it.
So, let me look at Mr. Sparky real quick. You probably don't even have to roll it, but just in case, feel free to roll your bombs, and we'll just look at Mr. Sparky. Okie dokie, where's Mr. Sparky? Electric grenade. Ooh, damage 5. Ooh, that's a big... It's a big, thick damage. Again, we're not using actual damages here, but that's a critical damage. So it's effectively the biggest explosion it can be.
Does the Ice Beam do anything? 'Cause
And
we matched
with
his-
it,
The ice beam would hit his legs.
See, if it's electric grenade, if it can chain damage to nearby things, doesn't that mean it'll also hit both Feraligatr and Torque?
I think it would hit Sophia more than the Feraligatr, although it might bounce.
Yeah, but the yeah, that's what I mean. Is
Oh,
it can chain between enemies and friends and keeps going until it misses.
not only that, not only
roll-
that,
Hmm?
I can manipulate it.
Oh. Roll me a dexterity. Because you are at the moment being pressed against the thing. Your speed is pretty goddamn high, but I want to know if you can... Oh, you can. Okay. Yeah, so it would be bouncing. Because of the specific timing of the movements, Feraligatr would be unable to move because it is currently shooting a ice beam at Mr. Torque. But Sophia, roll me a dexterity. See if you're... Actually, no, roll me endurance. See if your Feraligatr can endure the... It can endure the lightning bolt to the head effectively as the ice beam starts
It's the
going
same
out.
endurance bonus that she does.
I would imagine it. Oh, she is a jumper. Is a Feraligatr. As a +7, we'll probably go down by like... Let's go down by like 3 as a +4 endurance then. So that would be...
Still a 19. But...
Yeah, still 19. And so it is able to still hit Mr. Torque with the ice beam, which is a very chilling experience, but it does get hit by a full-powered lightning bolt to the head alongside Sophia. Both of you are now being shocked extremely. Sophia, roll me a proper endurance because you're now...
Torque used thunder. It was super effective.
Yeah. The lightning bolt is helping you not be woozy. The tranquilizer is wearing off because of your massive size, and the lightning bolt hurts. It hurts a lot. You are in a state of incredible pain at the moment, as the lightning is causing small burns across your body, which, based on your character, burns are not very good for you. And then lightning against a Feraligatr is super effective. So your Feraligatr is barely standing. It's having a difficult time actually standing. Its ice beam hit Mr. Torque, which about froze his left leg, but is now semi-woozy. You are in a lot of pain, but you are fully focused now, and Mr. Torque is electrified. Mr. Torque, roll me an endurance.
Endurance?
Yep. You are invigorated by your electricity, just like you had been before. It was a large bout of electricity, so I'll leave it up to you on whether or not your personality changes at this point in time.
I'm gonna let Sophia do a react or whatever she needs.
Yep. Okay,
Fuck.
Sabina.
I was gonna do one thing,
Hmm?
but oh no.
Feel free.
I'm hurting, but like, yeah, he's fucking magnet for electricity.
Yep. You are in quite a bit of pain. He's been slowed because the freezing thing, but he hasn't actually been super damaged yet. You have only been slightly damaged because, well, actually, he's been damaged by the grenade. You've been damaged by the electricity now. So you're both kind of on par at the moment. You also are both durable as hell.
Do I, like, notice, like, did he ever have, like, a physical showing of absorbing electricity for power? Or was it always kind of like a subconscious thing?
In the when he did it inside earlier with the cat girl electrifying him, it went into his body, and the only technical signifier was that there's a lightning bolt symbol in his eye, essentially, which you wouldn't properly be able to see at the moment. So you're not entirely sure if electricity is what causes that mental shift, or if it's specifically somebody electrocuting him. Technically, his bomb would be a very similar concept to the cat girl electrifying him. So in your mind, it might be a similar thing there.
I could do two things, but one of them sounds really fucking stupid and could probably end up in me just losing immediately.
Oh, right. Dunk.
Could
let me go first if you want.
Fuck that shit. Fuck. Fuck. This is really not a good matchup for me. Fuck this barrier. Fuck everybody.
Fuck this barrier.
I mean, you can always just give up.
Fuck that. I'll just get knocked out eventually.
One of you
Okay,
twos don't
whatever.
get knocked out. One of you twos
I'm just gonna, you know what? This is not great for me. And yeah, it's just gonna fucking hit him 3 times. That's just
Oh,
fucking.
Jesus
It's either
Christ.
gonna work or it's gonna knock me out. So
Okay. So, as you're being kind of electrocuted, you're being electrocuted. He's being kind of frozen with his left leg. His speed is down by probably 2-ish. Oh.
Oh shit. Oh shit.
Roll me speed real quick.
Who?
Mr. Torque. Wow, okay. Roll me
So,
endurance.
Meets on 1? Oh shit.
Yeah, roll me endurance. Oh.
Oh.
So you pull back slightly, and he kind of hits the ground, his ice leg kind of thumping on the ground. And you immediately start just pistoning your fist towards him as hard as you possibly can, completely intent on beating the living crap out of him. Mr. Torque, with your change in your mind, what's going through your head at the moment? You're going to get hit, and it is going to be very painful to you. It's going to be hella painful. But what's going on through your head as you watch her step back as you drop to the ground?
I'm gonna try and grab her arm.
Ooh, okay.
Or
Your
just
speed
punches me or not.
your speed is high enough to grab one of her arms, probably the 17 there. And she just starts punching you in the head with her other arm twice. It is. Huh?
She starts hearing some chuckling.
God. I forgot you were a masochist. That's right.
Come on, hit me. Hit me.
You may also notice that that was strong enough to knock most people unconscious. You're fairly concerned that you may have dented his brain, but, you know, he's currently holding on to one of your arms.
Life steal. I'm gonna steal some life from him.
Oh,
Ooh.
before that's Sophia.
Uh-oh.
One thing you should have remembered about me. I like to give handshakes. I'm gonna let my electricity flow in her.
Oh, that's gonna hurt. Alright, let's see.
of it.
Both of you roll speed real quick. See which one's faster, life steal or electrocution.
Oh, this is the big moment.
If
Where it's
Uh-oh.
speed.
That's
you
not a
roll
high
a nat
roll.
1, I swear.
Oh,
Okay.
fuck.
Oh, it's gonna hurt. Roll me endurance real quick, Sophia.
Mm-mm.
Can you stay
Might be
on
the
your
end
feet?
all.
Oh, I'm critical failure.
Twice! A natural 1 on endurance.
Uh-oh.
Dude, those
Sayonara.
rolls. You attempt to steal his life, you really do. Your alligator guy hits the ground as the electricity just kind of knocks him out. And for a split second you feel some of his energy going into your arm before you feel a do you remember how I described how Rogue nuked the arm of Diana?
Oh shit.
This is effectively the same thing.
Oh.
Roll me dexterity 0 real quick. You have
Mind you-
significantly more control over your electricity than Rogue does as well. Oh yeah, you're out. The electricity flows through your entire body, and he makes it so it doesn't kill you or slag your body parts like Rogue's one did. But the amount of voltage going through your body is very similar to as if you grabbed an electric fence and just kind of held onto it for a while.
I'm gonna
The whole
Yeah.
arena just goes
Yeah.
into a ball.
Oh.
of lightning. Everyone sees it.
Jesus.
She just untransforms slowly and then kneels down the ground, already eyes closed, passed out, and she is just falls to the floor.
Dunk. Yeah.
Ooh, Torque versus Akia. Oh, this is gonna be interesting.
Good God.
Yes, that's it for you, Sophia. Gotta say, you really impressed me.
Jesus
This
Christ.
fucking barrier! It was rigged! Rigged from the start!
Well, props to you for giving me one hell of a fight. I'll be sure to remember that once you wake up.
Clap. GG. Good game.
Golf clap,
GG.
guys.
Golf clap.
Fucking
GG.
endurance day 1, 2 times.
Mm-hmm.
So the barrier starts to mold itself and kind of turn. So the your barrier actually moves over to the same barrier Akia's is. As Akia gets to watch you electrocute the living crap out of her best friend. a massive ball of electricity that legitimately stops almost every person who still awakes battle as they all look at the massive electric ball.
And she's just now turning back to her regular form after being an elephant. And she looks behind Torque and sees Sophia passed out and saw that electricity.
Mm-hmm.
Ah, fuck.
As your barriers kind of collide with each other and start moving and then lifting up, and so you two can see each other perfectly now.
Hi, Akia. Did you miss me?
Every damn second to punch your face.
Jesus.
This'll be fun.
Alright, you and
For me, yeah. For you, not so much.
Did you see how she punched the living hell? I'm looking forward to the force you're gonna lay upon me.
Oh no.
God.
So come here. Well,
I'm
let's
glad I'm
dance.
already fucking knocked out.
Yep. So, as they start to go on their thing, we're gonna move over and look at Risa and the lion, whose name
Good
is...
game, Megan. I know.
Oh
I
yeah.
know this is very.
Cheeky. No hard feelings, bro. It wasn't my battle to win. Honestly, nah.
Two
Oh,
natural ones.
I am so
I was
sorry.
really hoping Sophia moved on, so that way Akia could just be like, I can end this for you. Let me just knock you out really simply and easily. It won't hurt. And then you don't have to continue to fight.
God, the electric...
And then it would be the
burst.
whole best friends, like, we're best friends and we're gonna make it to the finals together. I'm gonna kick your ass.
Oh, beautiful. Alright, but so we're gonna look at Risa and Lion Boy here real quick. While everybody else is doing the epic fights, the massive, lightning strike over here, wind blast, fire blast, electric man over here, probably explosions and whatever else have you. There's just two people in the crowd there. Risa kind of like moves her into the fighting stance, and you see Lion Boy look at her. And he looks at her, he's like, I can't fight you. And of course, Risa looks at him and is like, of course you can't. We have to. We can't give up, and we have to keep going. It doesn't matter. We have to keep going. We have to save our friends. Lion Boy looks there. You can see a single tear goes down his face as he goes into fighting position. And let me roll. Now he has probably about similar strength to Megan, so I'm going to roll Megan's strength roll. Wow. All right. Let me roll her endurance real quick. All right, cool. You see him take up a stance. And he starts kind of moving slightly, and then he swings a right hook directly into his own face. There's a sickening crack that can be heard, even for Akia over here. While she's fighting, what's his face? But he's still standing, and Risa looks at him with the most confused look of all time. She just looks at him, absolutely confused. And he's like, again, and then he immediately punches himself in the face again. This time with enough force to knock him to the ground.
Aww.
He punches himself so hard, he knocks himself unconscious. As Risa just looks utterly confused. Right before he's like kind of dazed, he's like almost unconscious, and he looks at, he's like, you can do it. I have faith in you. And he's out.
That was cute. That was really cute.
She looks unbelievably confused, I'll be honest. There's so many levels of confused that she's going through. But as she's being utterly confused, we're going to look at Todoroki versus Zen real quick. This battle also should not be super, super long. Korin, you want to be Zen?
I am indeed here.
Yeah. You can be Zen here, because I think you know her personality a little bit better than I do. I'll attempt to be him. Don't mind his ice, by the way. He's not actually using it. Sorry, don't mind his fire at the moment. He's not actually using it as he looks at her.
She stands one hand on her hip, smiling over at him.
Let's see. Trying to
Isn't
remember.
the son of the #1 hero Endeavor.
That man. I'm trying to remember. I believe he has a passionate hatred towards this man at the moment, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
He absolutely hates his father.
Do not compare me to my father.
Ooh, touchy subject, huh? That's fine.
He's got
I'm
daddy
just here to
issues.
try and minimize whatever damage goes down thanks to manager's interference, I guess.
Well, this should not be a very fast battle. He immediately takes up a stance. I'm going to use... let's use Yuki's strength for this one. Dexterity for this one. He's going to immediately make a massive... You remember how he did inside the actual things? He's don't try doing that to her at the moment. Immediately blasting forwards with a giant, hunk of ice that is threatening to obscure the,
She nat 20.
Oh fuck.
The area around her ignites in
Of course she
auburn
nat
flame,
20'd.
completely overtaking all of the ice, melting it instantaneously as she doesn't even shift her stance, just continuing to smile that same way as she effortlessly dispels the ice attack.
Of course she nat 20. He looks slightly confused, as you notice his hand is starting to get a little bit, frostbitten, or what you count as it. Frost is starting to creep up his arm before he immediately launches another, ice, hit towards you, which again, I'll use her dexterity for. Just trying to fling another... Jesus Christ. Yeah, this sounds about right.
She continues to stand in place, not launching attacks, but rather just dispelling the ones that come forward.
Yeah, his arm is starting to creep up ice as he starts to kind of like flick it out. Some of the ice particles moving off his shoulder, but he's noticeably slower as he starts to move to the side.
In that case, she'll make her own attack now, sort of. Only
Okay.
11, but her goal is to just raise the ambient temperature really high.
Oh, okay. I'm no roll endurance for that then.
Perfect. Because the goal is to raise it enough that that his arm isn't afflicted by frostbite, so if he's able to resist it, then that means he suffers no negative effects and only the positive ones, right?
Yeah. So the frostbite just kind of starts leaping off of his arm effectively, as he just kind of starts moving around the barrier.
There we go. That should help that arm of yours, right?
I don't need your help.
Your fingies tell a different story.
Fire is just like my father's. You see him flex his left hand at that.
She raises an eyebrow, and that wisps of flame circle around her. If you're telling me that I'm like your father, then frankly, I'm not sure that I like the parallels. I like to think I'm a little bit cuter than that.
As the wisp of flames pop up, he tries doing a smaller icicle directly beneath her, trying to pretty much take her off balance. Wow, he is.
Okay, she isn't attempting to move, so she's probably got a pretty good stance at the moment.
Mm-hmm. Jesus
20.
Christ!
That's so crazy.
The icicle doesn't even get to you. It just disintegrates before it even gets much off the
A
ground.
perfectly circular area around her is completely unaffected even by the frost. Instead, a faint steam lifting off from the area as the ice tries to close in. She buffs her nails slightly.
My ice doesn't seem to be working on you.
Yeah,
Makes
I'd say
sense.
that it's not very effective in this kind of matchup.
You see him, like, he just starts to tense his left arm. Woo. I don't know what that was. The voice was like, whew, let's get some murder on this town. But you see him, like, tense his left arm as flames start to flicker out of his hand as his irritation grows more, but he starts to snuff it as it pops up. I do not need to use anything other than ice to beat you. I will rise by my own merits, not my father's.
Neat. You're gonna lose either way, but okay.
Says you. He's once again going to create a massive wall of ice as it flings towards you. God damn. It's like a child.
She's gonna frown slightly. So you're just fighting with borrowed power then, huh?
If I was using my left hand, I would be.
No, you'd still just borrowed power. You never made the fire yours, so why would I believe that you made the ice yours?
Oh.
Just borrowing from your mom, huh? Do you have anything that's yours, kid?
His eye twitches as fire starts to leap up his arm, the anger starting to flow. My ice is my own.
No, if it was yours, then so would the fire. If fire is your dad's, then the ice is your mom's. And as long as you're fighting with borrowed power, you're not going to get anything done. You're not going to be able to hold anything in your own hands. All that's going to happen is you're going to break it down and leave nothing behind. Ain't that fun?
Ooh, wow, yeah, that's a lot of anger as he immediately starts to burst a gout of flame towards you, which doesn't do anything.
It circles around her, being subsumed by her own flame, as it takes on a much brighter, happier light. Sparks flying through the air, almost like fireworks.
Jesus Christ.
You know, he doesn't deserve this. You know?
Amount of times he's rolled low.
Trying his best, okay?
He immediately starts to slam his hands together, creating effectively a tunnel of ice and fire, creating a burst of effectively water that slams forwards towards you. Seeing if he can put out your flames.
This time, yeah, the flames are extinguished. As she then looks over her shoulder, purposefully looks dramatically over her shoulder over to where Tanya and Endeavor are fighting and saying, huh, I didn't know his attacks could reach this far. Unless you're telling me that wasn't your dad.
You see his entire, like, let me roll his endurance real quick, hold on. How angry is this boy? Oh, he's... all rational thought is going away from his brain. He's all yell as he immediately starts to run forwards, practically trying to get into a fist fight with you, as he does a right swing towards you, covered in ice.
Okay, that'll be
Jesus,
another
third
20.
natural 20! You rolled three
practically
natural 20s!
dance around each of the attacks, her skirt bouncing jovially in the air as she seems to whistle a jaunty tune.
3 natural 20s! Jesus Christ! The rolls are just like, nah, he's fucking gone, bro.
Yeah. So when he overextends himself, she's going to trip him and ask, ooh, is that anger your dad's too?
He growls as he immediately launches his left arm at you, swinging with all of his might.
Did she not successfully trip him?
Oh yeah, like, you trip him, he hits the ground, hold on, I'm trying to envision this in my head. So you trip him,
I don't like this.
he hits the ground, he tries to roll and swing his left arm towards you, covered in fire, trying to effectively make it so your fire can't subsume his as he punches straight forwards.
Oh yeah, this one's going to hit.
That's gonna hurt.
Going to send her stumbling backwards as she then seems to take significant damage from it.
My
There we go.
fire is my father's. It's his quirk, and my ice is mine.
Nope, logical fallacy. You're wrong. She's going to bring out a
is it
large
mine?
baton, which is going to ignite in flame.
That
The ice is yours,
bastard
so is the fire.
shouldn't have
If the
any
fire isn't
reign
yours,
over
neither
my
is the ice.
life. I'm proving my worth to him.
She's going to spin the ignited baton. Whose fire is this, by the way? Is it mine? Is it my mom's? My dad's? My grandfather's? My grandmother's? I got a lot of grandparents. Even more great-grandparents. I got a long family line. Whose power is mine?
He growls as he immediately swings his right arm, trying desperately to freeze.
He's going to
God,
kick him in the
every
teeth.
time the ice is failing.
Yeah, she's just straight up kicking him in the teeth here.
God. He like flings back and hits the berry and it's like, why? Why can't you go down?
Do you want me to answer that like an idol or like a person? Screw it. Like a person it is. Stop fighting with borrowed power. This fire is mine. That fire is yours. Have some faith in yourself, or I'm going to make you cough up the rest of your teeth.
I want to see that.
He growls
I
as
don't
he,
like-
as he
I don't
immediately,
like it when people who are born with strength and gifts and all of the great things decide that, oh, you know, I can't do that. I can't use that. It's yours. Light me up. Do it.
He growls
Get
as
angry.
his left arm lights into a gout of flame before he slams his right arm into the ground, creating a massive pathway of ice towards you to keep you in the ground. Jesus.
Despite rolling higher, she lets the ice crawl up her legs, though not letting it go any higher than her ankles as she crosses her arms.
He
Come on.
immediately launches a massive gout of flame from his left arm, the pure searing heat kind of disintegrating the ice path as it goes forwards towards you. Also into 19, jeez.
Everything ignites violently. She's got high fire resistance, and once the fire clears up, though, you can see that despite that resistance, she seems to have taken considerable amounts of damage. Her hair is fairly singed, her outfit looks pretty scorched, but she's standing there with her arms crossed in the same position.
What you know about family? About the hell I have been through my entire life.
She's going to raise her hand to her face, pull down on her eye slightly, and stick her tongue out. Jack all, friend. I don't have one of those. So, instead of trying to give you that whole anime main character spiel about love and justice, I'm going to tell you flat out. You want to be a hero, right? You want to save people? You want to make a name for yourself and be happy. You want to be great. You want to save everyone. You're not going to do that with borrowed power. Make it yours. Right here, right now. Or the next person that you meet is going to be a real villain. And they're not going to settle for making you hack up blood all over the bottom of the area because your gums are so ripped up.
Jesus.
So let's see you grit those teeth and kick my ass. Or honey, you're going to die in the real battlefield.
Why won't you fight me? He immediately launches another ice wall at you.
Her fire isn't able to fight it off, especially with the damage she's accruing, as it basically encases her. But her voice still rings out. Stop acting like a child with a tantrum, and I won't feel bad about kicking a toddler.
That's it. He's gonna run forwards and just slam his left arm into the icicle thing directly into where your stomach would be.
The flames around her manage to melt it enough that she sidesteps, able to avoid it.
Fight
Now
me.
she makes another solid swing. This one aiming with a solid uppercut right into his jaw.
Oh,
With a nat 20, that's. Whew,
yeah,
that's an
considering
endurance
his
skill
personality,
hit, but he's probably not. He's not even close.
yeah,
to out.
considering his personality, he's going to pretty much at least I think this would I might be mistaking it from Doria, but pretty much he's just going to slam his head into your fist to try to kind of break your
Doria.
hand.
Yeah, I could also see him doing it in his rage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As he tries
There's
to
a crunch as her hand does heftily impact and cause him to get very dizzy, but something gave way in her hand as she grimaces heavily, taking a step back and kind of trying to shake off her hand.
You're fighting
One of her
me.
fingers is at a bad angle.
As you're fighting me, we need to beat him. He points up at All For One. You will not stand in my way. I will become the #1 hero. Regardless.
You can't even become anything more than a shadow of your dad right now because you won't stand up on your own 2 feet, and you think that you can beat the real shadow? Shadow of a greater man than your father ever was? Fuck off.
Oh no.
She does look legitimately angry as she's cradling her hand.
He looks like he is legitimately, like, he would be crying if not for the fact that his tears are steaming on his face as he proceeds to start walking forwards. Hi! Todoroki something. What's his last name?
Todoroki is his last name.
Oh, what's his
It's like asking
his first name?
His first name is Shoto.
I am Shoto Todoroki. He immediately walks forwards and just slams his right fist into your face as hard as he possibly can. God.
She doesn't dodge. She just lets it impact against her.
He is noticeably weaker than normal.
Now. Her lip is busted because of the impact.
Yeah.
However, she still holds her position.
I am my father's son, by name only. I will surpass him and every other hero.
Then act
be the
like it.
#1.
She's going to then respond by punching him in the face.
He will take it.
Oh god. Okay.
He will take it and just get knocked to the goddamn ground. I imagine it wasn't the strongest blow.
Nah.
As he gets knocked to the ground, he is injured. His fire is hurting him quite a bit.
She's gonna grab him by the shirt and then lift him up to face. She's then going to spit some of the blood from her mouth off to the side and say, "Be Shoto, not his kid. Now hurry up." She's going to grab his flaming arm and place it directly onto her stomach and light me on fire already. So he is a guaranteed hit right here.
He looks legitimately concerned at the moment, like legitimately like confused and concerned.
In his anger, I don't think he would hesitate.
I'll let Sin decide. Does he hesitate considering the circumstance?
I think he would hesitate for a moment, just because.
That's her headbutting him violently, going to break his nose, as she shouts, "Do it!"
He would not hesitate at that point.
Okay, and now her resistance towards it, as it engulfs the both of them in flame, as more of her outfit is clearly seared away.
The gout
Same with
of
Todoroki at
flame.
that point blank.
The gout of flame is almost as large as the bolt of lightning over in the distance, as the flame grows and grows and grows to a point where if the barrier wasn't there, it would probably be a lot more widespread as he starts screaming. In anger, mostly. Also pain, but mostly anger.
Once the flame dies down, she's going to shove him backwards. Presumably, he's going to stumble backwards due to his injuries.
Barely standing.
She's going to then put her hand on her barely burnt stomach, as she's going to then point at him and say, Shoto Todoroki did that. Not him.
He looks like he's calmed down slightly.
Are you ready to fight now? Or are you going to keep having a tantrum?
He starts to breathe more evenly as his fire on his left side starts to encompass a lot of it as the ice starts to filter up his right side. I am Shoto Todoroki, and I will beat you. Let's fight.
She points to herself with her thumb, impacting it against her chest as she shouts, and I'm Zen. Rising idol sensation. And motivational speaker, I guess. Let's fight.
Nice.
She gets into a fairly sloppy stance, just as unsteady on her feet as he is.
He immediately runs forwards, trying to... Oh, that's strength. Sorry. That's going to be his punch, but he's actually trying to destabilize her movement with an ice blast under.
Okay.
Nah.
And then her another nat 20, guys.
Christ.
Yo!
For a natural 20!
It's not for the rest of us, guys.
And where's the
Goddamn.
where's the love for the rest of us?
Fucking hell! I know she's immune to fire, but Christ, man.
Yeah.
God damn. Yeah.
Because he also made 2 rolls.
Yeah, he tried to destabilize her
Yeah,
foot
one was
with
punch,
the dexterity.
and one was his magical ability. So one was resisting his punch, and the other was resisting his magical ability.
Yep, so she kept her footing, and then he punches her in the side with a bout of fire, and there's just nothing.
She does seem to be slightly injured by the punch, having not tried to dodge at all, but the fire just seems to be subsumed more by her flame, as she raises her baton and slams it upside his head.
Oh.
Her attack is a 15 versus endurance of 16. So it probably sucks, but he's not out yet.
Yeah, he's now going to... He's pretty much just doing a fist fight at this range, as he slams his right fist into you, trying to cool down the area. He is so weak right now.
Her resistance towards... So, her endurance seems fine.
Mm-hmm. The ice can't even make it to you, as his fist just impacts your ribs.
Her other hand goes out to... for a hook. He's sent stumbling backwards.
He is barely
probably
standing.
busted up something funky. Blood's already going to be pouring down his face from the broken nose.
Yeah, blood's pouring down his face. You can see visible bruises on his ribs and most of his chest. His arms look like his left arm looks like it's has massive what's the word? Third degree burns. That's it. Yeah, 3rd-degree burns, and his right arm looks like it's practically ice bitten. Even with the ambient temperature being so high, the ice that's surrounding his arm is practically becoming a wall of ice over his arm as he stumbles. Both of his arms look like they're barely usable before he immediately steps forwards and just tries to swing them into you at this point.
Yeah. She is knocked... The impact knocks her flat on her ass as she grunts heavily. Though the flames begin acting up around her.
Mm-hmm. He looks barely standing.
You know what, Shoto? Okay. as she then lays down on her back, extending her arms outwards. He wins.
No.
You hear a booming voice speaking over. The winner is determined by absolute victory, unconsciousness, or death.
She's going to
Goes
look
to sleep.
directly. Yeah, she's going to look directly at it's All for One.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
She looks at All for One, gives him a beatific idle smile, or would if her teeth weren't currently covered in her own blood, and she gives him the finger.
Yeah, you go, girl.
She's then going to reach into her pocket, pull out something, say, "Cool, sleep seed." She just goes to sleep.
Did she just fucking knock herself out with a sleep seed?
That was like one step ahead of Nara Shikamaru just being done.
Yeah.
Like, what if he was like so troublesome and he
He
carried that
looks-
shit around with him?
He looks so confused. His right arm
She-
is fucked, by the way.
Yeah.
He
There's
looks...
a slight pause before Gaia is the one who shouts out, "Hey, same pouch. Reach in and grab it's a silver bean. Take that from her and eat it, kid."
He puts his left hand on his right arm as it starts to burn away the ice that's been frozen over his entire arm before he reaches in and pulls out. What is it?
Eat it.
Oh, don't listen to strangers.
He looks at it before flicking it into his mouth and
no.
starting to chew it.
Yeah.
He's
There's
barely
a,
standing.
The sensation of it's a nice feeling, a nice cooling feeling, sort almost like mint, except it spreads throughout his entire body. His wounds are not healed. God no, it's not a senzu bean. But it helps. He no longer feels like every movement is going to shake every single bone in his body out of its everything, and the bruises don't hurt quite so much.
His barrier starts to move towards rogues. Unconscious bodies are just kind of laying there.
Unconscious, forget that. She's snoring. She don't sleep like an idol. She sleeps like a person.
Let's real quick go over to Midoriya Spider, because this should last for about 5 minutes. It's not gonna be quick. It's not gonna be slow. She immediately kind of moves down almost to the floor, practically. She looks to be fighting very low to the ground, which is kind of good for Midoriya, except that he's not kicking yet. And so she starts to immediately rush at him. He's apologizing profusely as he's keeping her at a distance, breaking one finger, breaking a second finger, over and over again, as she kind of just keeps getting slapped against the wall. I mean, actually, I don't even really need to roll because they're both proper NPCs. So they just keep slamming against the wall over and over again until she's pretty much unconscious. She's a spider girl. She does not deal with getting hit against a barrier at, like, wind gale forces very easily. At least 4 of his fingers are broken on his right hand, and his index finger on his left hand is broken. But she's unconscious. And, yeah, he's the winner. He looks to be in quite a bit of pain, but his one actually goes towards Risa, as she's unconscious. Before he does go over, though, he does kind of walk over to the Spider Girl. She's unconscious, and he kind of apologizes to her before walking towards Risa, looking very, sad. It's very sad. Depending on how fast this fight goes, this is either going to be our last one or Ron is going to be our last one, depending on a few factors. If we don't have time, we'll do Ron's one next week as lead up to the
question.
finales. Oh, yeah, right. You're
right.
Hmm?
Yeah, I was going to ask, okay, we doing that next week, I assume?
Yeah, we should be able to do it. We'll tag into your bit. I forgot how much of your bit we wanted to add in here.
I don't know. It's up to you, man. You're the DM. I'm just reminding you, okay, because you've got a lot of things. So
yeah. But yeah, so as Midoriya is doing his fight, which honestly is probably the fastest fight that goes on. The wind gale forces are obscenely strong, but thankfully the barriers are keeping them mostly in place. As those going, Diana and Dollhouse are also kind of in the same barrier as is.
Huh.
Corn?
Yeah. So Diana's kind of going to look him over.
What?
You're the one that Tanya's been keeping an eye on, right?
Kind of.
You smell like... What is that? Argent energy? It's been a while.
Hey! Another jumper. Nice.
Yeah, kind of figured. Tanya's interest in people kind of wanes unless they're interesting enough.
Yeah,
Wow.
no, I got this on my first jump.
Oh, wow. Either you did really well in that jump or you did absolute shit.
I live. I think that's more than a lot of people can say.
Yeah, but survival ain't quite the same as what us jumpers are looking to experience.
Fair. You do notice that the more they talk about it, the creepier the smile on Dollhouse's face gets, and the wider it gets. Sorry, habit, as he kind of slaps his cheeks. Anytime
no
Doom
problem.
gets brought up, I begin to smile uncontrollably. Bad
I've
habit
been told
from...
I've got a villainess's smile, so I'm familiar with it.
To be fair, I did just snap a man's neck and slam his head into a concrete wall because I haven't had this power in a while.
Oh, do you regret it?
Do you regret every man you've killed?
No, just most of them.
To be fair, he was going to blow up the entire stadium, so save a few thousand lives for one, I'll take that trade.
How utilitarian. You're quite the hero, aren't you?
I mean, to be fair, as he smiles very broadly again, the Doomslayer was considered a hero and he let millions die.
Fair enough.
He nearly killed me too. I was literally 3 seconds away from getting my head chopped off when I got pulled because my time was up.
How fortunate. Chopped off. That's a lot less violent than the things I witnessed. There's a
To
sardonic
be fair, he
grin
did
on her
rip off
face.
all of my limbs beforehand. Granted, when you're as crazy as I became, that was probably the most convenient method of ending my life.
Let's see, we're supposed to be fighting right now, right?
Oh yeah. How far you want to take this?
My nose is good enough to tell when I'm outmatched. Are you bound by the bank?
Mm-hmm. CO's
Oh,
bank,
God.
as funny as... It's actually the most interesting thing I think I've ever seen him make.
That's good.
To be fair, if I wasn't bound by the bank, I would sneeze and this entire city would be leveled, if not the world. Granted,
She kind of
having
seems to thumb at her nose. Well, if it weren't for the bank, I think Tanya might actually be able to give you a run for your money.
You see the smile get like the widest possible. I know. Honestly, I can't wait for the day I can fight her full bore. It'll be a good time.
Yeah. I'll watch
For
from a
now.
safe distance, assuming that I can see between dimensions.
To be fair, we'll probably be jumping between them. Places that, you know, I've probably died in. There, maybe. Did I die? No.
Yeah.
Maybe.
That'll make it easier on whatever local populace you two become living gods for.
I'm not interested in that. The only thing I'm
petty gods of
interested in is
destruction.
entertaining her.
Sure. Well, in the meantime, she's going to kind of extend her arm outwards. There's going to be a significant flaring of demonic energy. So, we doing this?
You see immediately Dollhouse's entire form switch to the mixed metal and stone doll. Yeah, we are.
All right. her body, all of her skin begins taking on an almost porcelain-like color as blue veins begin to glow from inside of her. Her eyes take on a bright golden hue as she's going to attempt to launch an attack.
Alright.
The area around her, underneath her particularly, is going to detonate as she erupts forward, launching a single heavy right straight directly towards your jaw.
Since he's in full doll mode, he's in also the mixed mode. So it's a plus, see, mixed, steel and metal, 2 to strength, endurance. Second. He just takes the blow.
Okay.
As he kind of flies backwards, he does land on his feet, you do notice. Should I just go full bore instead?
Go ahead. You're going to hear some small shifting from the inside of her hand as bits of porcelain seem to crack off and fall.
Because it seems like you're already going full bore for this.
Like I'd survive anything less.
Fair enough. You see the mask begin to crack. Didn't say I didn't warn you. As anyone in the area that can sense demonic energy feels the pulsing of Dollhouse as he grabs the dog tags, and you see him take them off and put them in his warehouse. Sorry. Those are probably the only thing I value.
That's fine. If you've got anything you do, I'd make sure that it isn't at ground zero.
Yeah. As his entire body begins to rip apart. Like the sickening type of rip that is very clear over every fight.
Jesus.
As the doll itself bends and breaks before a large, about the size of a Hell Knight creature, stands where Dollhouse was, and a roar of basically booming like a nuke going off vocally.
Jesus.
As a highly evolved looking Hell Knight stands there with a beefed up frame similar to the Baron of Hell, with a deformed skull structure that makes the horn structure roughly similar to horns, some curved up horns through the skull itself and protrudes. And the properties of its hell energy is similar to a Baron's leap attack, or its repertoire, sorry. Just kind of describing the creature. As you see it grab like pieces of the mask that was left of Dollhouse and just rips it off from where it didn't get taken off before gouging out a pair of eyes. Better. Much
Going to take a
better.
deep breath, and red veins begin expanding along her body in addition to the blue ones, as you hear her mutter, "Lineage of nobody, awaken."
Jesus. Alright.
As Dollhouse gets on all fours for a moment and just lets the muscles ripple before jumping forward with a slam of hell energy.
Good golly. Alright. Corn, do you want to do the response, then we'll move over to Boy and Roasted, or?
You perform the leap of hell energy. I assume you're attempting to slam directly into her?
In front of her, because again, the leap of hell energy is a ripple effect.
Okay.
And he's running off raw Argent energy. That is way too much for one person to should be able to handle.
She seems to bring her arms together. Rather than attempting to avoid it, you notice that the porcelain takes on a rough look as her body seems to almost expand around her, the musculature enhancing as she tries to defend from the huge amounts of the energy pouring out.
All right. But we didn't actually put anything down because we forgot to, so.
Yeah. Alright. Well, you two start pretty much beating the living crap out of each other. Boy and Roasted. So, Roasted. Oh, what the? Oh, God, that's a terrifying mask down there. Hello, that's.
I gave Mr. All for One some Super Saiyan hair and a mustache.
Nice.
Better.
But yeah, so as everybody else starts to kind of get into their fights and stuff, you see Boy being pretty much pushed off of the ledge here as the barrier kind of surrounds him, and he walks forwards towards you. Your barriers starting to collide and becoming one.
Persona just sees him and just waves.
You look from. Let me actually grab the correct voice.
Mm-hmm.
You
I
look
gotta get
familiar.
Oh, you don't remember me? In the forest.
Oh, right. Were you the one I ripped the blood out of? Or his
No,
companion?
he's over there. He points his head over there, just like.
He's kind of beating the crap out of.
He's
Gas Boy.
already. Yeah, he's beating the crap out of Mr. Gas Boy.
Mm-hmm.
How unfortunate for you that we have to meet again.
I really don't want to kill you or anything. I just want to get this thing over with.
Well, I can't say I care much either way whether you live either.
I guess there's no point in talking to someone like you. And besides, I'm not going to use my quirk on you. There's no point to it.
Yeah, I suppose you figured that out pretty quickly last time, didn't you?
It's not just that.
Hmm?
It's not just that. Fighting one-on-one like this, testing our power limits, I find that quite admirable. There's no point in using something that will just hinder my power anyway. So I'll just rely on what I used to.
Well, it doesn't seem like I'll convince you to knock yourself out either.
No,
Shame.
but it'll be interesting to test both of our powers.
Is your next of kin watching this battle?
Next of kin, I don't have one. I don't need it.
I see. Then I'll leave your burial to whoever watches.
Oh my god.
But if you kill me, I'll come back as a ghost and haunt your ass.
I don't believe in ghosts. If I did, I'd have been haunted a long time ago.
Well, I'm pretty sure talk is cheap for both of us at this point, isn't it?
He's going to make his move.
Okay.
Both of you are going to attack, it seems.
Yep. Feel free to start the movement.
Let's see.
You want me to roll pull my character sheet up here?
Yep.
What do I need to roll? Speed?
Currently we're just having you guys kind of do the movements at the same time, so you're welcome just to explain the movements, and I'll tell you which moves to use.
I'm pretty much screwed with him.
There are some ways you can win, but this is not a good
That's-
matchup for
That's
you.
endurance.
Yep.
Oh, what was I supposed to
Are
roll?
you sure you didn't mean to roll speed?
Oh, is that him trying to hit?
Oh yeah, I was
Great.
trying to roll speed. I must have accidentally clicked on endurance.
Ah, you're good. Yep.
Yeah, you could, I think it's safe to re-roll.
Yep. Roll speed. Wow.
What the fuck?
Tie. That's a tie.
Okay.
And normally a tie would be broken by whoever has the larger bonus.
Mhm.
And I'm going to end up revealing his bonus here because they have the same bonus. They both rolled 19s with a +6 on their speed.
So, which one has a higher dexterity, I guess? Question mark?
I mean,
You could always re-roll.
Could reroll, yeah.
yeah, I think we're going to have to because those are two perfectly
That was
matched.
too perfect, but we could see we both collided again.
Oh my
Nat
god.
20.
Yeah, he's a bit faster. He's a little bit faster. Okay, what are you gonna do, Corn?
Okay. Let's see. He's going to fire out that single blood shot
Okay.
directly towards the chest, that needle.
Okie dokie. So you're immediately sending out a blast. You are going first. So You can do that. That's a 15. Okay. Roasted, you can see the needle coming at you. Roll speed just like Rogue did before. See whether or not you can actually see the needle coming at you. You cannot, unfortunately. The needle is too quick. Your eyes may be very good, but unfortunately you're not used to needle point accuracy, as is currently anyways. The needle then shoves forwards. Roll me endurance. Oof. It's not too good. The needle does pierce through you. Corn?
As it pierces in, it's immediately going to start growing hooked barbs on the inside of your body.
Oof.
Mhm.
As an FYI, Roasted, normally his blood would start leaking into yours, basically. But because you're a parasite, it's basically keeping it at where it is, as long as blood doesn't, essentially it's keeping the blood surrounded into that little hole that it just made.
That's understandable.
Yeah. The more blood that flows into there, though, the worse it could get. So that might be something for you to think of. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So it shoves into your shoulder, essentially slicing right through it all the way out. So what'd you like to do?
Yeah. What's your response?
I don't know what to do. I can't fight against this guy.
Yeah, you have several tools on your side. This is a very bad matchup for you, though. Kind of like Midoriya versus Risa is going to be.
Improvise, like I did.
Yeah. So you pretty much can just try to do what you can, figure out some weak spots.
Oh
in his
wait,
armor.
that reminds me. Does my mist form actually take out that blood? Because I turned into mist in a way.
Your mist form would remove the spike inside of you, and technically would make anything that's not you kind of, leak out.
Yeah.
But reforming from your mist does take a moment. So we'll go into your mist. We'll be able to.
Last resort anyway.
Yeah, going to your mist would be able to remove whatever he is kind of shoving into you at the time, but reforming would cause him to get attacked towards you. So good plan if you need it.
I guess I'm gonna have no choice but to. I'm gonna take inspiration from Dollhouse here.
Oh.
Black wires come out of my fingers, shooting directly at him.
Okie dokie. The roll me dexterity.
Wires, because wires are extremely thin and
like spikes in a way.
Yeah, your what?
Similar to what Boy just did.
Your what little of your parasite can get out at the moment from trying to protect you is able to go out. Roll me dexterity to see if you can actually make it go into him, considering... No.
Gosh fucking damn it!
You attempt to. It gets about halfway there, but then it stops, as the rest of it leading inside your body is currently wrapped around the blood spike inside of you, making it so it cannot travel as far as it could.
I'm just gonna enable 3D dice.
Yep. So it gets about halfway there. Boy?
Okay. Let's see. He's just going to fire off another one of the same needle shots in an attempt to continue infecting your blood.
In the other arm?
It's gonna.
Yep.
Yeah, roll me endurance. Actually, no, roll me speed real quick.
Oh, well.
Yeah, that'd be whether or not you can actually endure it.
I rolled endurance already.
Yeah, so we'll take that as your actual endurance roll if it hits. Roll me speed. Wow.
19,
and his is rolled a 13 on a d20 with a modifier of +6. So we re-roll.
That's 12.
Wonderful. That's a
12. Oh my god.
That's a nat 20. You avoid it.
As it's coming towards you.
Tonight, aren't we?
Fucking 20. What is that, the 6th natural 20 we've rolled today? God.
Why am I still using the masked thing? I've already revealed his bonus.
Yeah, you kind of move your body to the side as you can see it. The blood spike in your other shoulder being a bit of a hindrance, but you are able to contort your body slightly, so as it goes past you, it doesn't go into you before it retracts once more.
I guess I can try to make another ranged attack because I can't go up close and personal with him now.
Yep. Since you now know the range of your was it your
Parasite right
parasite?
now?
Yeah, you would have to get closer to him in order to actually hit him with your parasite, considering that range, unless
So-
you manage to remove the blood inside of you.
I don't
Is
think-
there a is it like a spear of blood from boy to roasted corn?
Yes, it
Okay,
is a
cool.
straight line in the shape of a thin, almost needle-like blade.
So you guys are standing about 10-ish feet away from each other. So you would have to get closer to him in order to get your parasite to actually make contact with him, unless you want his blood to start flowing through your body.
No, thank you. So I'm just gonna have to whoop and sidestep.
Yep, roll me endurance real quick. Nice. As you start moving, the barbs in your shoulder are incredibly painful, but as you do move, they are moving with you. So even though it is incredibly painful, you are able to endure it, basically, as your parasite is pretty much working double time as you walk to make sure it doesn't get infected. You are now within range to actually hit him with your parasite, as long as he's not able to block.
I guess I gotta roll dexterity again.
Yep, against his probably endurance.
Watch him, he's gonna win.
Oof.
I know it.
It's a 9.
I'm getting bad rolls here right now.
Yeah, just like Todoroki did. God. Against your endurance, Corn?
Endurance. Oh. I'm just gonna roll it out in the.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. Yeah, one of the only. There was a 10% chance that he would lose, and there it is.
Yep, it's not always a fated loss. Your parasite does in fact latch into his shoulder in almost the same way that his blood latched into yours. It is able to kind of circumvent his blood as well, in the same way that it's preventing his blood inside of your shoulder to flow. So you two are now pretty much just
try
kind
to
of locked.
jettison the entire segment of armor.
Oof. Okay.
As soon as the thing comes in to contact.
Let's see. If you're trying to jettison the armor, that would probably be speed versus speed. Oof.
Do I need to roll speed as well?
Yeah.
I think it'd be the parasite speed, whatever the parasite speed would be.
It's effectively his. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I thought actually no, the parasite would have a -2 speed, so that'd be a 20 instead of a 22. But regardless, it still hits. You jettison your armor, which the amount of the smell starts to increase.
That portion of the armor.
Yeah, you jettison that portion of the armor. The smell starts to increase of the taint of blood as his parasite slams into your shoulder, knocking you back ever so slightly as it starts to leach into your arm.
Okay. Is it like so leech? It's trying to draw in blood?
No, it's barbed essentially. So it slammed into your shoulder and then barbed itself almost identically to the spike in his
Well, I
arm.
meant that once it so the jettisoning of the armor was that when it grabbed onto him, he was going to jettison the armor that it grabbed onto.
Oh no, I mean it would have gone through your shoulder.
Yeah. So it went through the armor. What happened to the jettisoned piece? Did it just like fail to remove because it's still attached?
Let's see. So it would have gone through the armor into your shoulder when you jettisoned your piece. I would imagine when you jettisoned your piece, it would have knocked it back slightly, and the parasite would have just kind of gone up and then through a crack in the armor since it jettisoned and then slammed in. Kind of
Well, if it was attached, if it was already attached to him, which I think is what the speed means, if it already grabbed onto him, then the armor would not successfully jettison in the first place.
Oh,
You
okay.
can't exactly knock it off if it's been drilled through and into his arm.
Ah, true. Okay,
So
yeah.
the jettison piece. So because of his failed roll, he failed to jettison it.
Yeah.
Okay. In that case, he instead is going to have that armor revert back to its original state and use it to try to impale the thing from the inside. Given the fact that it's drilling into him, he'll drill right back.
Oh, that's gonna hurt. Roll me endurance, roasted, and roll me strength, Corn.
Nat 20. Are you serious?
How
Another
many
one.
20s today? How many 20s are we going to see? Jesus Christ.
God, the poor freaking parasite.
For
Horn,
fuck's
stop.
sake.
Stop.
I cannot stop twinkling.
I don't think I've ever seen this many toys in one game in the 3 years I have been doing.
Rips off the
I
shirt.
feel like
both
this whole thing is rigged in purple favor.
It's rigged.
Oh, it would be rigged if it was possible.
No, he made fucking overpowered characters here. I will say
That's actually not the biggest bonus. That's actually the same thing your bonus is. The thing with Roll20, you
Yeah.
physically can't rig it. We've tried. We have actively tried to find a way to rig this thing.
I don't
It
care.
doesn't work.
I love breaking systems, but
Yeah.
oh boy.
I will
Yeah,
say,
it's-
I will say it's fucking
got
rigged.
little
Jesus Christ, the amount of toys we're
Goddamn.
seeing.
We have enough time to get through this whole fight, I think.
Trust me, we'll have a decent amount of time. But yeah, so the parasite latches onto his arm, kind of drilling itself inside in order to establish a point of hold, I guess. His armor kind of turns into a flood before slamming into your parasite, kind of like almost drilling holes throughout the entirety of it for like that last portion of it. In your head, it's screaming in pain. While you're doing that, Corin, roll me dexterity to see whether or not you can keep the blood blade where it is current.
Fail. It's a crit fail.
You cannot contain that level of focus. So the blood blade that was inside of his shoulder kind of retracts as the
That makes sense. You rolled a natural 20 followed by a natural 1. What the fuck?
Beautiful. So the blood that was in your shoulder
I
has
play
now
a very
retracted.
critical role in this series.
Ha! Critical roll.
The blood kind of comes out of your shoulder all the way back into his armor as the blood that's inside of your parasite is just kind of ripping it to shreds from the inside effectively.
Yeah. And I guess my parasite's pretty much pissed off.
It's screaming in agony at the moment.
Yeah.
By the way, as you're doing that, let's see. Yeah, the blood around your parasite, it does turn from armor into a flood of essentially thick goo blood. And so as you do that, you can hear a very loud retching sound from the stands. Before a single voice speaks out and simply like in a horrified tone.
Wait, isn't that line supposed to come out when he uses that move?
Yes.
Right now, the amount of blood is pretty reasonable for himself.
Yeah, but you do hear one person start retching at the fact that does look like blood seeping from that section of his arm.
Yeah, I mean, I've been impaled. Oh no.
Mm-hmm. Rested.
Yeah.
Are you on?
Yeah.
What you
You
gonna
gonna
do?
order that thing to retreat, or are you gonna watch it freaking die?
No, I'm gonna order a treat.
Yeah, as in order for it to actually treat, it basically cuts off the top of it, which then the top of it pretty much just dies where it stands, and the rest of it flows back towards you, reforming itself. You are now both pretty much the same level of injured, and back to pretty much square one. Although you can see his arm for a second before the blood kind of seeps back up and turns back into pieces of armor.
Yeah, I guess we're panting both hard in the way Kane.
For the most part, he's controlling his breathing pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You can tell through the parasite that that's not an insignificant amount of damage, but he seems to have a high level of self-control.
Mm-hmm. Your shoulder
Plus his,
also
his
feels like
mask
someone
hides
stabbed
a
it.
lot of it. Yeah, it's because someone stabbed it.
Yeah. So what would you like to do?
My parasite, I'm gonna have to probably switch to my whip now because at that point my parasite is pretty much in pain right now.
Yep. Also, roll me a sense real quick because of your quirk specifically.
Oh.
Nice.
14.
So you can tell, while it wouldn't really work on him per se, just because his emotional state seems to be very military and kind of like a lot of other people. You can tell from behind you the negative emotions of disgust are starting to rise a bit as these people are getting a very close view of the
Don't forget all of the fear.
and the fear too, especially
That's
with
like
what's his face
so
up
thin.
here as well. There's a lot of negativity going on behind you and through you, and from what you can see from Rogue's battle over here out of your left eye.
The fear probably spikes when the audio warhead of Dollhouse rings out.
Yeah, definitely. There's
No one's seen a demon in this world, and Dollhouse's form is not exactly pleasant to the eye, as he looks like he's probably murdered more people than most.
Yeah, there's a lot of fear going on behind you. There's a lot of disgust, a lot of horror, and a lot of, everything like that. And it's just
really
rising like a
tempting
fountain
me.
behind you.
Sin, stop tempting me to summon a fucking Godzilla.
You could. I mean, that is within your, well, not Godzilla, but you could summon something horrifying.
But the problem is, if I summon it, it's uncontrollable.
It's controllable to a degree, but yeah, it
Remember-
would be very dangerous.
He's probably gonna make a small one. He's not gonna unless he's pushed to a very absolute limit.
So you start trying to drag the emotions towards you, I would imagine.
Fear and disgust and probably maybe a little bit of despair if there is there.
Roll me sense again real quick. And then dexterity. Nice. Alright, roll me dexterity.
A bad roll.
God
Seriously?
damn. Alright. So you're able to start dragging some of the emotion towards you. Now, one factor of your quirk is that you can... Alright, that's not that bad. You can individually point to some things. You have never tried doing it inside of a crowd before, however. So as you start trying to pull the emotions down towards you, you are able to pull a small portion of it at first, but you can feel the rest of it behind it slowly starting to build and feed towards you. Not very quickly, but as you kind of place down a creature next to you, which in this case, weirdly enough, turns into, hold on just a moment. Here is the creature.
Picture.
Yeah, slowly trying to get through.
My
Boop.
My cat. Why do you want attention
There
right
you go.
now? What
Slowly
in the
turns into a
fuck?
boar-like creature. It's rather small at the moment, and it does look angry, I suppose. It's not the most uncontrollable thing. You can control it to a degree, but it does look angry, and it does look very focused on Boy himself.
Well, he looks at it as like, well, that's new.
It's very
How large is the
strange.
boar?
Probably about the same size as Roasted at the moment. Although, Roasted,
gonna
roll
frown.
me... Actually, both of you roll me. Let's go with Sense. Kind of perception, basically. But yeah, roll me Sense, both of you.
Actually, ooh.
Okay. And Corin?
Okay.
Corin.
Nice.
Okay.
Alright, so Roasted, you can easily tell this because it is your own creature. Boy, not so much, but it is somewhat obvious. It is slowly increasing in size. Not very quick, but it is slowly increasing in size as you're watching it, essentially.
It's absorbing all the fear around it, isn't it?
You
Yes.
can tell that, yeah, you have dragged a lot of people's fear, a lot of people's negativity, a lot of people's anger and anguish over to it, and it feeds back into the crowd, which is slowly starting to draw more and more energy into that feed link, basically. So it's starting to get bigger and more fierce, but it's a very, very slow build because of your dexterity roll.
Oh boy.
How large will that pet of yours grow?
That's actually a good question. I have no idea.
I see.
He's going to kind of lift his blade and angle it towards the boar.
Do you intend to stop it from growing?
Probably after this fight, yes.
I see. If it grows too large, it'll actually constitute a threat.
Everyone.
There's a question. Has the dollhouse scream now echoed out? Because if so, that thing's going to start growing a lot faster.
Let me... 14. Dollhouse. Roll me sense real quick. Mostly because I want to use you as a basis for everyone out there.
Alright. One moment. Strength and speed dex.
Well, if he's the basis for everyone out there, then everyone out there just crit failed.
Yeah.
Is that bad luck?
That's very bad luck. That is the worst possible luck that you could have possibly had. That was pretty much the only roll here that was surpassed your dexterity roll right there in terms of control over the beast. Even a 2 would have been enough to make it so the build for your beast would have been slow. But a crit fail is...
Is it gonna grow? Is it gonna turn Donkey Kong?
You look at Dollhouse as he starts changing, and then he starts doing a bellowing roar, a massive roar that shakes the very foundations of the arena, effectively, as this boar twitches, shakes, and starts to grow. The negative emotion that you can feel in the back of your head. Poor Zen. The negative emotion you can feel in the back of your head is like a beacon behind you now. It used to be kind of a...
Persona feels this and he's like, oh boy, what has I done and what has he done?
Yeah,
no, I don't think it's going to be happening good.
It starts to grow. It starts to grow. It starts to grow so big that it turns kind of ethereal for a second before moving outside of the barrier. And it just continues to grow and grow and grow to about that size, roughly. Well, actually, no, more like, oh yeah, about that size, actually.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, this is about twice... Oops, sorry. Did not mean to do that. Ignore what you are seeing here. That is not what I meant to do.
God damn it, Sin.
What the hell was that? It looked like a ballerina on a lap dance.
Oh, what now?
I don't know. It looked like a...
Not pay attention to what he just said.
What?
No,
What the fuck?
It just looks like a ready bloody ballerina going to a bad ball.
What the fuck? Alright, yeah, keep that image in your head, please, for love of God, what the fuck? Anyways, so it gets to about that size, more or less. Which is about twice as tall as most of you guys, so about 10-ish feet tall right now. It looks angry. It's also outside of your barrier. You do notice that All For One is now looking at this boar quite intensely, but seems to be almost confused. It's kind of like thrashing its head side to side at the moment. It's not happy. And is looking...
booming voice from Tanya. She says, "You gonna handle that, Shadow Man?"
It seems like a willing participant, although I do not have a combatant to fight it. yet.
Really?
It then turns its head to look directly at.
Don't talk as though I'm not here.
You appear to
Boy is
have
going
your
to
own
turn his
battle.
full attention to the boar, cracking his neck.
The boar turns its full attention to Boy, as All for One says, "You have your own opponents. It would be unfair to make you fight two at once, now wouldn't it?"
It was unfair to put it one against one in the
looks at
first place.
the Feraligator and Sophia, Mr. Torque taking both of them on.
Dispel the
that
barrier.
That fucking rule. Let me tell you, that rule does
I know
not
he's
make
just dissing
sense.
on
Fuck you.
Mr. Torque.
You know,
Holy shit.
Dispel the barrier. This might be enough to tire me out, so that I'm on his level.
He looks at Johan.
No, go ahead.
Johan simply shrugs. It is an element summoned by. Wait, hold on.
It is an element summoned by the. It was an element summoned by his opponent. If we did not interrupt when that large alligator-like creature appeared, we should not prevent it here. Release the barrier around those combatants. Strengthen the one around the civilians. And let them fight. Something tells me we will bear witness to something very interesting.
He nods as the
You
barrier.
bitches! And you're
Wait a
thinking.
minute. I just thought of something. I just thought of something. Something bad.
Hmm.
The entire world is watching that too.
Yeah. The entire world is seeing a bunch of children inside of a arena with a giant boar that seems intent with killing fury against a single individual who appears to have some kind of blood-based armor on him, while the most powerful villain in the entire world is standing there, completely undeterred, as the number one hero is knocked unconscious, and the former number one hero is in the stands, unable to do anything. The whole world is seeing all heroes that are capable of moving, unable to get into this arena, unable to help these children as they beat each other to unconsciousness and near death.
This is bad. And think of that. Sorry.
No, you're good. Yeah, the entire world is getting to see this unbelievable slaughter. Now, unfortunately, I have 50 minutes to finish the rest of my assignment, so we will have to end it here. Thank you all for joining
we don't want
us.
to reveal his response real quick?
You know what? Yeah, let's reveal his response. The barrier goes down as you can see the other barriers start to get reinforced, including the one separating the people from the civilians.
Boy's going to look over his shoulder at Persona and say,
"Will you be attacking my back while I do away with your pig? Or will you leave me be for now?"
What is it you want?
I want to make a point.
How about I join up with Mr. Boar over here in the front? That way, since you said it would be much more of a challenge, right?
Fine. I was planning on saving this for that bastard. But if I have to bring it out here, that's fine. The end
Which
result
bastard?
is
Mr. All for One?
none of your damn business.
Very well.
he's going to raise his sword to the sky and let it start floating upwards as he snaps his fingers. It doesn't have that same resounding effect that that's imposing or anything, but there's a shift as the area around you seems to shudder. And from the areas surrounding the stands, a red mist begins to start pouring out.
The smell is
I've been
very
preparing for
similar
this.
to a decomposing body. Well, specifically when you start
Actually, it would just be
drinking.
the scent of blood.
Yeah, it's a very heavy iron smell. Smell copper, smell blood as it starts to fill the air. Go on, keep going.
As it all forms into the air, it creates more or less a giant orb above his blade as he extends his arms outwards.
All right. You'd better be watching, Faye. You're the one. Oh, after this is resolved, you're my next target.
Hey.
Marchioness of blood.
You see the
entire
blood.
thing begins conglomerating, coming together, the mist coagulating into much thicker, viscous substance. It even takes on color as a massive 50-foot tall titaness is made manifest in the shape of a marionette.
This thing is massive. Pretty much all the fights at this point kind of slow down as almost all of them have finished, except for obviously Diana and him.
Oh no! And the bad news is, it's gonna that creature, my boar, is gonna keep feeding on negative emotions.
You hear someone, you hear multiple people just throwing up in the
especially pro heroes who understand what just happened.
That would be yes. But yeah, you hear several people throwing up in the thing. You see pro heroes with just their faces drained, the blood practically pouring out of their faces like they are being used for this machine, for this creature. As you hear a very distinct voice appear in the through the air. Gorn?
Yeah, it's All Might. Aren't you the one doing the voice?
All right. You hear very distinct All Might saying, not very softly, but you can hear the terror inside of his voice as he simply states, how many people needed to die for this creature? And with that,
How many cows are slaughtered for your markets?
Ooh,
Fuck.
ouch!
with that, the negativity that's going through the area increases to such an unbelievable degree. This boar becomes 25 feet tall.
What have we done? What have we done?
This boar looks like the epitome of rage, terror, insanity, as it looks at this massive creature and lets out a bellowing roar that almost matches Dollhouse's.
And the Marchioness responds by spreading her arms out as if to embrace the boar, welcoming a charge.
Oh my god. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, with that lovely idea of what the entire world is getting to see, their children getting to face, that, my friends, is where we're going to end it for today. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this, as horrifying as it is. Also, everyone inside the crowds is getting to watch this horrifying moment here. And we'll get to probably Ron's fight as well here soon. Probably starting it there just so we can kind of understand what he's going through before seeing this creature and then going through that fight. So join us next week at 8 p.m. PST. Got blocked. Join us next episode. It's 8 p.m. PST on next Tuesday to see how this will resolve and how the finals and semifinals will go on. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this. Feel free to hit that follow button if you guys want to see our regular videos. And we shall see you folks on the next episode. Bye.
Jenny.
Auf Wiedersehen.
Arrivederci.